yourself tonight. You gotta feel it. You just have one life. It's time to live it, dance into the light. Your life is beautiful. You just have one life. It's time to live it. Free yourself tonight. You gotta feel it. You just have one life. It's time to live it, dance into the light. Your life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful.
Hi, I am Monica Brant, one of the world's first true fitness pioneers starting back in 1991. I helped launch the fitness industry while traveling internationally, meeting fans worldwide to share my style of fitness to the bodybuilding community. After a decade of fitness competitions, I earned one of the world's most prestigious titles, the IFBB Fitness Olympia Championships. Moving into the new millennium, I was the first IFBB Fitness Olympia athlete to transition into the new professional figure division and compete for close to another 20 years. After 15 years as an IFBB professional, I tried another organization and won the WBFF World Pro Figure Championships both 2010 and 2013. I am a true athlete and made my way into racing into the Masters USATF Sprint events, placing top 3 at the World's Masters track meet in all 3 events, the 100, 200, and 400 meter races. Besides athletics, I have been honored with over 100 magazine covers both nationally and internationally. Since it's always a blessing to share with others, over the last 15 years, I've hosted women's fitness events and worked with clients, helping them discover how to live radiantly in all areas of life, body, mind, soul, and spirit. The Monica Brant Show is one of the ways I am honoring the legendary athletes, powerhouse individuals, and nutrition gurus that have laid a strong foundation in the past, help keep the current industry flowing, and offer inspiration to the next generations. Talk show. How's everyone tonight? Thank you for tuning in. I know you guys could be doing so many other things tonight, and so I'm so thankful that you're here with me. All right, guys, so thank you so much. If you guys want to shout out where you are coming in from, I would love to hear what state, what country, where are you? Because I'm here in San Antonio, and I'm excited to be with you guys. And I just want to quickly, before I start reading where you guys are coming in from, I want to say thank you to my sponsors. We can't do this show without you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And without further ado, I want to introduce our very special guest tonight as well. I see Dallas. All right, Texas. Hey, Chris. Hi, Ruben, Austin. Awesome. We got Texas in the house. Awesome, guys. Let's see who else. Tim, where are you? You didn't tell us where you're coming in from, but all right, guys. So thank you so much for joining. So tonight's guest is one of the most beautiful competitors I've seen in a very long time. And I find myself drawn to looking at her pictures, her posing, her smile. She's beautiful. Like, her physique is artistic and just beautiful. So I'm always drawn to her Instagram and her Facebook, and visiting with her a little bit here and there when we've gotten to connect via social media. And so I thought, for my show, I want to bring in people that have made an impact in this industry, in our fitness and bodybuilding industry. So this is a legendary icon. I'm going to say it right now. This girl, even though she has not won the big show yet, She has proven herself to be one of the top IFBB competitors, and she has so much to offer everyone. So I couldn't wait to get her on the show, be able to talk to her, find out what she's doing, and find out how she keeps herself in such beautiful shape and condition. She is a smart, intelligent woman. She has a master's degree. She got an undergrad. She's a very smart lady. So she's not just a pretty face, you guys. She's got businesses, and she is an athlete, which is very exciting to me because I am, underneath everything else, at heart an athlete. So I can't wait to bring her in, and let's start talking to her. Miss Wendy Fortino, let's see your pretty face. We have matching hair tonight.
I know. I swear. We have like the same switch, so I had to put like my hair behind my ears so we look different. So.
It's awesome. I'm like staring at myself. It's so cool.
It's like mirror images. No.
Yes. So we have some people from Texas in the house, Long Beach, Texas, Mississippi, Milwaukee, Pennsylvania, Jersey, and it looks like someone's in Long Beach. Okay, that's what I just said, Long Beach. I was thinking that was Long Beach, California, but it's Long Beach, Mississippi. So lots of people joining, and I'm sure we're going to have even more, Miss Wendy, to see you and hear all of your good stuff. So before we go on, I just want to tell the people watching, we have 2 giveaways tonight from our sponsors. We've got Egg White International giveaway, which is a half-gallon frozen egg white delivered at your door, plus one of their super cute items for clothing. Here's one of their tanks. This is actually the yolks on you, which yeah, and they do a special thing for cancer patients and Cancer Awareness Month, and then so that's what that one's for. And then this one, 100% pure chick. Woo, that's us, girl. And okay, one more because we're both chicks, and you'll get a kick out of this one, Wendy. Chick train
harder. Yeah.
And I'm sure your husband's rolling his eyes right now. But.
Doesn't even need a T-shirt for that one. That one's like goes without saying.
Right. So okay. So the Egg White International giveaway question: whoever gets the answer first right wins the giveaway. So what did Wendy compete in before figure? There's a sport that she competed in prior to figure. Whoever gets the answer right, I almost said it because I'm like. But whoever gets that right first wins the giveaway. Okay, and then the second one, I'm just going to throw it out there right now because you and I just were talking earlier about legendary foods and how good their little treats are. Hello, Pop-Tarts.
Hello.
Like, I mean, who doesn't love a Pop-Tart once in a while? And these are like keto type friendly Pop-Tarts. They've also got these fancy flavored yeah, I mean, they've got nut butters. I mean, tangy ranch seasoned almonds. They're good. They're really, really good. And they've got the nut butters, and they're really yummy. So you got some yourself, right?
I actually I met the Legendary Foods people at a expo one time, and they were my favorite. They reeled me in, like, hey, come try this. And they made me this pancake. And they took pictures with me eating this pancake. Of course, I was like eating the pancake. I was like trying to eat it. And they were like snapping pictures, and I like had it. It was like falling out of my mouth, but it was totally worth it. It was really good.
It was totally worth it. The eating picture, right? So we've all been enjoying this Legendary Foods here at our home. Okay, we've already got a winner. So let me finish this question first. So you guys, if you don't know this, you can be figuring it out along the way. So our second prize giveaway from Legendary Foods is, what is Wendy's posing company title? Ooh, good one. What is Wendy's posing company title? First one to get the answer correct wins legendary foods. And our winner for Egg White International is Angela Henderson. But I think, Angela, you're in, darn it, you're in Canada, though, girl. I don't think we can have you win. But you know what, Angela? I bet we can send you something in honorary, but I can't send you egg whites because they're frozen and, they can't go over the border. I'm so sorry, Angela, but you got it right.
I'm so glad that someone guessed that already because that's part of my story. So
I know, right? And I can't wait to get to that. Okay, we have another person here. Victor, where are you from? Let us know if you're in the USA. I'm sorry, Canadian. Angela, I will get with you and we'll figure something out for you special because I know Angela, so I want to make sure she gets something for being here and for getting the answer right first. So we'll go from there. But okay, you guys, my mom's here. She's going to be finding the right answer and we'll go from there. But Wendy, how are you doing with all this crazy 2020 stuff? I mean, I know. And you're in California.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yep. I mean, I think that's what the silver lining in all of it is, we're in Southern California, we're by the beach, and we actually moved from San Jose, California, which it's interesting because things are being done so much different because we're so much closer to the beach where there's more open space here. So I think that regulations just have been different. So we're actually feeling very lucky that we're able to go outside, go for walks, be by the beach. That's helped me a lot, I'd be lying if I didn't say it wasn't hard, but at the same time, you and me are a lot alike. I'm always trying to figure out ways that make the situation meaningful. And for me, it's same as you actually too. I mean, when all this started happening, there were so many things I had on my plate that I kept needing to work on that I wasn't able to because I was always traveling, to shows with our clients or even to shows to compete. And I just had so much constantly that all these projects I wanted to work on, I just never had a chance to. So lo and behold, I definitely have had that chance. So I've been working on all of my projects and it's been, in that sense, a good thing, I guess.
Sure. So you're being in California, how close are you to the beach right now?
Right there. It's right at our door, right outside our door.
We here in Texas heard that there was $1,000 tickets for people going out on the beach. Is that for real?
Yeah, I mean, for a little period of time, they open the beaches. Actually, Oceanside is operating slightly differently than San Diego County. It's kind of its own little nook. And the mayor does things here just slightly different than other places in Southern California. I feel like they're a little bit more loose in Oceanside. The cases have been really low here. And it's been, for the most part, it's been kind of a little kind of slice of its own world here in Oceanside. So we've been slightly lucky. The beaches were closed for a short period of time. It was released pretty fast because the mayor of Oceanside, they were like, okay, people need to go for walks, and it's been pretty safe. It's been okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems like going to the beach would be the best thing to do. You got sun, you've got the salt coming in, all the minerals coming from the ocean water, and you're outside. And I don't know. I mean, it would have been hard for me to be there and not be able to go. I used to go run on the beach almost, 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I used to go, and that would have been really hard not to get to do that. But that's good that it sounds like things are opening up for you guys a little bit. So you guys don't have all the rioting and all of that stuff in your area, like up in LA, right? Because
of social media, I still feel like we're so close to it. But no, not here. It's pretty peaceful here, I don't feel like it's peaceful, though, because I'm so, it's hard not to get consumed with everything. But I'm trying to pretend like this world is the way things are, I guess.
Right.
That's all you can do.
Well, I think that's important, too, is try to come back to your own normalcy. And if everyone can kind of do that and not take it over to the next level, then I think, at least, everyone will start kind of calming back down, and that's the goal, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best point you can make, because everybody wants to know, like, what's the perfect thing to do? What's the perfect thing to say so that people don't get upset? Or what's the perfect thing? And I mean, honestly, all that we can do is control our own well-being and our own happiness, at the same time thinking about other people's well-being and happiness. Mm-hmm. And if we can control our well-being and happiness and make sure that it's not negatively impacting other people, if that's where we start from, then I think, that's kind of where I go. That's how I make my decisions,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about, let's talk about how you got into fitness and what you did, because obviously people know track was the sport, which is near and dear to my heart. So mm-hmm. I want to just hear about how you got into fitness. What was it like before fitness for you? And let's talk about that.
I'm smiling really big because you happen to be a big part of the story. And everyone, just so you know, who's tuning in, she did not know this story before she invited me on the show. She didn't invite me on the show to tell the story. I am just telling it, okay? So,
thank you for that. I don't know what you're trying to say.
I mean, it's not like, So I was a track athlete, and I'm glad somebody already answered that because it's the beginning of my story. And that was my whole life, and I was training. This is in 2008. I was training. I was like at my top level. I was training for the Olympic trials, and that was going to be my year. I was just so focused, and about like a month or two before the Olympic trials, I got a stress fracture in my foot, and I was so bummed out. And I was I was always getting hurt though. I was always getting stress fractures and shin splints. You're dancing that line all the time when you're an athlete, because you have to go and do as much as you possibly can without getting hurt. And that's how you get to your top level. And you know that, Monica. Mm-hmm. And I got hurt, and I was so bummed out. And I had started dating Matt, who is my husband now. I started dating him. We were dating for about a month. He was getting ready for the San Francisco Championships bodybuilding in the NPC. And I had no idea anything about bodybuilding. I didn't know anything about the world, but I thought it was really cool what he was doing. He actually came to watch me run a couple track meets, and I just was supporting his journey to his bodybuilding show. And then he just walked in the room. And then when I got hurt, I called him up from the doctor's office, and I was like crying, and I was super bummed out. I'm like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. He goes, go to the gym. He was training clients. Come to the gym. I'll put you through a workout, get your mind off of things. And I got to the gym, and everybody at the gym, it was a raised built tough gym. Everybody there were bodybuilders and competitors. And they're like, you got to compete. And I didn't know anything about the sport. And I'm like, I don't know. Matt went to the store. Okay, this is in 2008. He went to the store, and he picked something up for me to watch. And it was this.
Oh, look at that.
This is what I can't get straight. I don't know why I can't get it straight. Anyway, this he bought me, okay? I watched this, okay? I watched this so many times, Monica, because I instantly, when I saw this, I wanted to compete. I was like, and this is not a made up story. I'm not saying this because I'm like trying to brown nose or fangirl. This is this is legit. I mean, I saw this. I'm like, I want to look like that. And we were watching, there was a scene where you were doing like this photo shoot. He goes, can you see yourself doing that? And I was like, yeah, I could see myself doing that. I could do that.
Oh, I love it. I love that.
And so that I still have it. I love that DVD. Aww. That was, it covered a little bit of everything. You had your competition, your photo shoot, your posing. That's how I taught myself how to pose, by watching you do your posing practice.
Wow.
Story, right?
That's so cool. That's so cool. That was reality before reality was around, right? That was from 1990. That was 1998, 99 when that came out.
And that's how I got to know your mom.
Yeah.
So I know your mom.
Yeah.
You're the photo shoot you and your mom did. I was like,
Awesome Fitness. Yep.
I just fell in love with you guys. I was like, God, yes.
So that's
yeah. And I mean, so the rest is history, I suppose. But I did do the San Francisco show with him. So we both competed together. And once my foot healed, I used to be a gymnast too. So I started kind of training some of my gymnastic skills. I did fitness one time. It was like a few weeks later at the Sacramento contest, I think. So then after that, I just kind of found my new thing. I actually haven't run track since then. I just kind of found a new love, I guess. Yeah.
So do you do any track practice for just the workout benefit of it now?
I do. Like that is, to me, so invigorating. I mean, sometimes I just need to get on that track and just sprint, and like that invigorating feeling you get. We're just like coming around that turn and just like sprinting all the way down the stretch. There's something about that I want to do it right now, actually.
I hear you. What did you race in? What were your races?
My main race was the half mile.
Oh,
and
800.
Yeah. And then the mile was actually 1500 in college, but yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I'm a 1, 2, and 400 runner. And, the 400 and the 800 meter runners, they're always like, which one's harder,
I know.
I don't know. I think
too, because I did the 4x400. My college team, we had a really kick-ass. Sorry.
It's
I don't know. PG-13. I
It's okay.
don't know. Guys, okay. I cuss, you guys. Watch out. Don't let your kids watch. No. No, I did a 4x400, and so I would say they're both just as hard in their own way.
Right. Right.
I mean,
right.
You're kind of doing an all-out sprint in both, but you pace yourself a little bit more in the 800. I may not be the best one to judge this, though, because my strategy always was, this is how my dad taught me to run. You go out as fast as you can, and you just keep going until you can't go any faster. That was my...
That's tough strategy.
Even if I didn't finish in the lead, I always started in the lead. That was always my strategy.
So did you hear any of the my Masters track work stuff that I was doing with the Masters track and that I ran at the Olympic trials that one year and all that? Yeah,
it was. I saw. Well, it was. I caught attention because I remember I was like reading the news, and I don't remember where I was, but it was like Monica Brant takes 3rd place in the Olympics. I was like, whoa, go Monica! And I was like, that's insane. And then I looked it up and I saw, the category and everything like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, like your time was super fast. And I thought, wow. And I was like, maybe I should go back to track. And I was like, maybe not.
Well, I was going to ask you because the women's track is really fun. And so when I haven't run competitively since 2013, but I'm dying to get back there. I just haven't because I started doing some other stuff, and then I still at the track, and I still train as if I'm going to someday compete again with all the drills and all of that. But when I competed in 2013 and won the show that year for the Worlds, I was training track, and I thought I'll throw in figure.
Oh my gosh,
it was like it works perfectly because I'm on the track. I was on the track 6 days a week, gym twice, training heavy, and the physique looked awesome from track.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, my first show was I competed 6 weeks after that whole thing happened. So it's like it just went right into basically. Yeah.
So it's so funny, and you may have people ask you this too. It's like, well, what is the best glute exercise, or what's the best thing for glutes? And I'm always like sprinting all day long, and I'm like, and then they look at me, and I'll say, well, have you ever seen a sprinter without a good physique or without glutes? And they're like, no. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah. No, for me, the trade-off, like there's this kind of interesting trade-off because sprinting is definitely the best thing you could possibly do for your glutes. Like I always say that like I started my doing figure with the best glutes I have ever achieved. And I'm finishing with not the best glutes, but I'm finishing with the best shape. I'm not finished yet, but you know what I mean. Because, my glutes were the best. Also because of the trunk rotation and the arm swinging, I had really developed traps and I had a really thick waist just from the and everything. So it was like finding that balance, and then with the added strength training, I need to be able to recover fast. So what I was thinking actually is if I ever went back to run track, I think I'd come at it with a different strategy, because now that I know what I know now, I think I would probably throw in a lot more, training just to keep myself from getting injured and be able to still maintain that intensity. Because all the intensity and all the impact, it's like you reach that tipping point. And I'm thinking, now that I know what I know now, I could maybe do like some crazy step mill stuff without all the impact, and like get myself to this high level and maybe save my body a little bit. I don't know. Just a little food for thought. But
well, if you ever want to get back to ever want to start racing in track, and you don't have to leave figure, but if you ever want to get back to it, let me know. I'd love to talk to you about that and just share more about my experience with the Masters track, because I loved it, and going to Worlds was amazing, and there's so many awesome opportunities, and it's really fun, and it fits in really well with competitive figure. And
butterflies. I always got butterflies when I ran. Do you get butterflies?
Oh, absolutely. It's that energy that you're like, that's because here's the thing. You can't run like that and not go all out.
I know.
And when you go all out, your body, everything's clicking in going, this is really going to hurt, but it's going to be so worth it, because that adrenaline is twofold. It's like really painful for the body, but it's really a great reward mentally and physically when you're done. And I always say, I think my favorite thing about being an athlete is when I've gone all out on a track, and like for like 100 meters or something, right? Yeah. Where it's not just 10 feet or something, like it's all out and nothing is injured. Like nothing hurts other than my lungs are like, oh my gosh, that was hard. But how many adults do you know that do that and that can do that and do it well, be competitive and not pull something or hurt something? And, when you're a kid, people do that all. Kids are always racing full speed, right? They're like, well, all of it out. They go all out. Yeah. And it's like when we're an adult, we don't do that as much. So track to me is really a special sport.
There's external feedback loop that you get in track that you don't get with other cardio modes, right? I mean, if you think about it, like let's say you have a client who they are getting in all their cardio, they're getting in all their strength training, they're getting in all their workouts, and they're following their diet, and their body is just not changing, and they think that maybe there's just something about their body that doesn't change, right? And it's hard to explain to somebody how many more levels they have in them. It's like people don't realize how hard they can push themselves. So if you tell somebody to go to the track and just time yourself to running a mile, just now you have a marker, right? Now you know that time, and if you did it again and you improve, you know that you pushed harder. So now we can go off of like a feedback loop system, right? If you tell somebody who thinks that they know what intensity feels like, but then you have them go to the track and time themselves doing 4 200s, put down their time, and then, you see what that time is. Well, somebody might think they're going and digging deep, but when you get to the track and you sprint, you have a whole nother concept of what it means to really go all out. Because when you tell someone to go all out, if they haven't been a serious athlete before, it's so difficult for people to understand what those thresholds are. And I think as a track athlete, when you're always pushing yourself, there's so many levels that you've already dug to. And honestly, at this point, I've been an athlete my whole life since I was 7 years old. And I still, to the point where right now I still feel like there's so many more levels that I still haven't tapped into, or levels that maybe I've tapped into before that are scary for me to think about. I know exactly what it takes to get the physique that I need to achieve. It's the levels that I've dug to, like it's almost scary to think about. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I was, for the last couple of years, I started doing what I called Wonder Woman training on the track. And I called it that, right? Because the thing is if I say track workout, people are so afraid. I can't run track. I can't sprint for an hour. And I'm like, look, there's so much we can do on the track that doesn't involve sprinting, but that can train you to sprint. And so so I just started calling it Wonder Woman training because, you know, everyone wants to be Wonder Woman. Everyone wants to be able to run fast and carry their own body and have strong glutes and have strong bodies. So that was really for me, and they had to stop when COVID hit because we couldn't go out there and do all that as a group anymore. But I really loved that, and it's been so fun for me over all the years to incorporate track training for individuals that would never, ever, ever consider themselves an athlete or much less a sprinter. So I kind of sneak them out there, and I'm like, oh, it's all body weight, and you're gonna love it. It's, you know, we do core and we do body weight stuff, and I teach you how to use your glutes correctly on the track because it's a solid, safe surface. There's no bumps and, you know, holes and. Anyways, it's such a, and for me, I just absolutely adore being on the track. It's one of those most special things that I can do. And I go out there, I don't have a phone, I don't listen to music, I just be. And if I'm by myself, it's my time to engage with God and feel my body, like you say, pushing to that next limit. And, you know, we can talk about track forever, and I don't want to keep telling everyone about track because it's really, you and I need to go on a separate call for that, but because I have other things I want to talk to you about.
Actually, you made me think of something just now. Actually, you know, I think that you, without maybe even realizing it, because you're just such a natural leader, you know, is that you sell the idea of fitness so well, and you just did it without even realizing it. Maybe you know what you're doing, but you do. I mean, by saying, I'm calling it Wonder Woman because who doesn't want to be Wonder Woman? I mean, when you say it like that and you are leading the way and you're absolutely gorgeous, it's like everybody is convinced, right? That's what it takes. That's what it takes for women to feel like being strong and beautiful. Being strong is beautiful, right?
It is.
And you say, I'm going to, you know, do Wonder Woman workout because who doesn't want to be Wonder Woman? And then it's like, who doesn't want to be Wonder Woman? And so it's like you're selling this idea that, you know, strong is beautiful. And that's, you know, that's a true like fitness leadership role. I think that, you know, it's like goals, right? That's what we want.
Thank you for that. That's special that you just said that. And I can't say that I knew purposely that I was saying that for that, but that is the goal for me, is really, like you said, I feel like part of what I do is I sell hope in different forms. I feel like for me, I sell hope through being fit and strong and physically able and flexible and all of those pieces. But I also feel like part of my role in society and in life is to provide hope in a spiritual sense too. So I feel like, you know, we've got to really target all of those areas in life. We can't just be all physical. We've got to be spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, and all of that. So
that's all part of the beauty. Yeah.
And I'm drawn to people like that. And that's why I'm drawn to you.
We're connected.
Yes.
I was like reeling you in since day one. No.
That's so cute. I need to sign it for you.
Oh, that would be
fun. So it's kind of funny. When COVID happened, I pulled that DVD out because, of course, it used to be a VHS tape before it was DVD.
Oh my God.
And I pulled it out and I showed it to my husband, and I was like, I hadn't watched it in like 20 years.
Yeah.
It's so funny to go back and watch it, and I was just like,
we should watch together.
We should. Maybe we should do that another time, Kona.
Party. A watching party.
We'll have a watch party. Kona, can we do that?
Who wants to watch party with us?
My producer Kona says we can do that. We should do that. That'd be fun. Oh. Yes. Okay, so one of our favorite viewers, Ruben, who's been on here every week for a while, and he lives here in Austin, Texas, so he's a Texan too. But anyways, he's got a question for you. When did Wendy transition from gymnastics to track? He has a young daughter doing gymnastics and is really fast. Any advice?
Yes, I stopped doing gymnastics when I actually have two sisters who continued a little bit longer than me. I stopped doing gymnastics when I was like 14 or 15. And my older sister actually continued, and she competed gymnastics in college. My twin sister, she stopped competing in gymnastics, but she started diving in high school. So it was a lot more of a passion of mine. Gymnastics was something that I think that I was good at, I mean, I've always been like short and just, I guess, designed for gymnastics, but I know that track, when I started running and I could beat all the boys, I was like, okay. After 6th grade, I couldn't, but before that I could. I'm like, this is my thing, you know what I mean? And I just got this rush out of it. I think that's why I got into track, because it was empowering for me. I found something that if I push hard, I can do really well. And I think that was like always ingrained in me, you know? So I think if someone is inclined for something and they really enjoy it, I say let them do like all the things they love, and then they're going to end up falling into what they are the most passionate. I was kind of like crossed, gymnastics and track kind of crossed, and then track kind of took over, because my parents, they let us do what we wanted to do. They didn't push us in anything. So they had us do what we wanted to do, and then we fell into our passions. We just kind of like started committing more to what we really wanted to do.
I love it. I love it. So right. I was just thinking while you're talking about that, you know, gymnastics is very much like figure and bodybuilding and all this, where it's not subject. I mean, it is subjective, right?
Right.
And it's really, really hard, because especially when you get up to those elite levels, there's so many different looks. And I know with gymnastics,
there's an additional variable there too. I'll tell you about in a second.
Okay. And so when you go, so for me, when I left, well, I never left, but when I chose to start training and racing and track again after 25 years, I absolutely adored knowing that I could go to a race, I could go to a meet, and I could come in second or third, fourth, whatever, and make a PR.
Yep.
And still, and that's still like my best race to date, right? But even though I didn't win, because it's not a subjective thing, and you still have such a positive outcome on it. And I'm a very positive person, and I could always find, you know, the silver liner in anything for me. Even, you know, if it took me, maybe it'd take me, you know, a day to kind of get back on track. You know, some of those shows where I felt like I could have won, but I didn't, because I didn't win a show for 12 years after the Olympia. And I still can, you know, I was still on stage, but I just never, you know, I placed second and everything else. But when I got into track, it was so, well, thank you.
The people.
But it was such a thrill to be able to go to a race, a meet, and race in, you know, however many races. And even if I didn't win one, to come in and get my PR was like all my training, it paid off, you know, and to know that it really did, because, you know, with these subjective things, like you get on the stage and you could be the best ever, and still not place even. And you just don't know.
No, it's so true. And there's another variable in the equation too, to think about. And that is that in gymnastics, no matter what shows up to the gymnastics competition, you have 10 point scale, right? So, you know, everything is based off of a 10. And so that day you can have like every single gymnast doesn't get higher than a 7.0, but you still have a winner. And the added variable in bodybuilding is you may not have a 10 physique, but everyone is compared to what shows up. So what that does to people is and this happens a lot with like our athletes and stuff like that, like they may, you know, let's say someone wins their class and then they think that they were a 10 body. Maybe they have a lot of work to do, right? Or maybe it's not only subjective, but, you know, they take, you know, 10th place in a really big class and they looked phenomenal. Maybe they just got like lost in the mix and they're not. So it's really hard to conceptualize just what is actually happening in bodybuilding. And so that's why it's important. I mean, not to sound cliche, but you know, the whole,
are you playing the music? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Not to sound cliche, but you know, the whole you versus you as a competitor, as a athlete who is always striving to be the absolute best, you know, you got to go in with that mentality. But if you are your best, you have to be able to have that perspective. I think that's what I've gained the most over the years. I've been now competing for like 12 years. Oh my God. Monica, we're getting old, damn it.
Hey, you're halfway there. I did 26.
Okay, all right. I'm not. Yeah, okay. You have me beat. That's awesome. Well, that is kind of cool. You were competing the amount of time I've been competing when I first kind of collided with your awesomeness.
Yes, ma'am. One of our friends here in town, and by the way, I loved what you just said. I think that was a great point to make for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very smart. See, you're not just a pretty face. You got some brains up here too. We got some friends here in near San Antonio, Donnice and Ken. Thank you guys for being on. It's good to see you back on. I know they're getting ready to go on vacation, so thanks for making time tonight, guys.
Hi.
And let's see, Donnie says, remember when you're training us on the track at the Body and Soul Retreat, and you're truly incredible on the track. Oh, well, thank you, Donnie. Yes, see, I was doing these women's retreats for a few years, and of course, all the fem camps, I always did a track workout as well. For all those years, I did fem camps. So,
are you doing those anymore?
No, not the fem camps. I was doing the Body and Soul, and then I just haven't done them. Donnie also says, I love that Wendy said about following your passion. That's why she's a champion. That's right. That's why we have you on the Monica Brant show, Miss Wendy. A champion of life. You're a champion of life, right? And her husband also says that he thinks all kids from elementary up should be training in track, which I agree. I think they should too. It is a great way to learn about yourself and to work hard.
Well, I mean, you got that feedback loop, you know. It's like if you take a you know a elementary school kid to the track and you have them run a mile, and then you bring them back to the track and you have them, they're already learning those cues, you know, those feedback loops, and you know, you go from just telling them to exercise. Now they have like they have some skin in the game. They want to improve themselves. They want to start looking at times, and all of a sudden you want to fix it. You want to improve it. It's good to get that kind of edginess in there already at a young age.
And what about the kids that are always asking you to time them anyways? Okay. Right. Claudia. Hi, Claudia. She's up in Canada. She says, hello, Wendy. I have a question. How would you summarize your growth to become who you are, taking into account your journey with your wins, losses, and opportunities? And I want to hold that thought. So we need to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back to Claudia's question. But before we take the quick break, we have rapid fire questions for Wendy.
No, you tell me about this. I don't know what you're going to ask me.
All right, girl. All good, all good. They're just for fun. Nothing hard, I promise. All right, rapid fire question number 1. Name an exotic animal that reminds you of yourself.
Tiger.
Woohoo! All right, I like it. Favorite color to wear on stage?
Green.
Favorite and least favorite body part to train?
Oh my God, Doug. Favorite? I don't know how to answer this question.
Well, what's your favorite body part to train?
Everything and everything.
So everything's your favorite, everything's your least favorite too?
I'm a glutton for punishment. I like the feeling of pain, but I hate it at the same time. That question's really hard for me to answer, because when I say legs, because it's hard, I also love that, you know?
I get it. That's why the track is so good for people like us. As a coach, what is your number 1 rule for all your clients on show day?
Smile. Be yourself.
Good job. Name a supplement you have used the most in all of the years.
I would say Evogen, EVP for sure.
Okay. Right. Name favorite binge show.
Monica Brant, The Secret of Beauty.
I'll slide you some cash after that one. Thank you. You're so cute. Your favorite show or stage memory?
In reality, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, what was the show? Matt.
Matt.
Show did we just watch? Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Tiger show?
Like, you know, the
Yellowstone.
Oh, no, wait, it's been over with the blonde and the. What's our show that we keep watching with the girl with the curly hair that I like?
Is it a drama show?
Ozark.
Ozark. Oh, I haven't seen that.
My favorite show, and I couldn't think of it. Anyway.
Okay, that's great.
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure. Okay, what is your favorite show or stage memory? Do you have one?
Show or stage memory? I think probably my first show backstage because oh, that's distracting. I think my first show because I remember I won the overall and it was like, that was the moment where I felt like this is my thing. And I went backstage to help Matt pump up for finals and he was getting ready to compete and he ended up winning also. And we were backstage and Hani was coaching him, Hani Rambod, and just like this really exciting energy because it was like something new to me. And I've never experienced that same exciting feeling again. And that was probably the best.
That's awesome. That's fun that you guys got to do that together. Really, really special. Yeah. All right. Name a dish you learned to make in the last few months of being in lockdown.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I eat almost every night. I make turkey meatballs in my air fryer every night in like every different way. I put everything but the kitchen sink in my turkey meatballs, and I pretty much make turkey meatballs with some type of vegetable every night. It's not very exciting.
Okay, can you share that recipe with me later?
Yes.
Awesome. We need a new one here. I'll teach Kona how to make it.
You have an air fryer?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Well, then you will have the best meatballs.
I love it.
Right.
Good meatballs. All right. What's your favorite holiday ornament? Any holiday. What's your favorite holiday ornament? Any holiday.
My favorite holiday ornament, probably. Well, ornaments have a special place for me because my mom has a collection of like 1,000 ornaments, and we would spend hours putting them on the tree when we were younger, and all of them were just, ornaments that we collected over the years from when we were kids. And I don't know if I have, like, every year I go to my mom's house, she'll be like, look at my new ornament, and they have like this huge tree. So I don't know, Mom, if you're listening, whatever the last ornament you showed me is my favorite.
That's awesome. I love that. We love Christmas here too. We definitely put the tree together, and we bring out every ornament. There can't be enough ornaments for me on the tree, and my husband always agrees after it's done, but he's always like, you've got enough on there. And then I'm like, no, I still have more to put on. Okay, last question. Name a song you can sing or lip sync to if no one is watching.
The same song I've been singing in the shower since it came out. Christina Aguilera, When I'm Lost in the Rain. I sing that song in the shower like every day since it came out.
I love it. That's maybe when we come back, you can sing for us. So
my twin sister has an amazing voice. I did not get the gene though. We're fraternal. So.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, well, we've got a lot more to talk about. We're going to have a short, about 2-minute break at the most. Guys, don't go away. If you go away, you're only allowed to go get your drink. Go to the men's or ladies' room, maybe make a pass around the house with walking lunges, and then come right back and tune back in. We've got more to talk about with Miss Wendy Fortino. Woohoo! See you in a few minutes.
Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our 3rd year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Answer. All right. We're back with Miss Wendy. I hope everyone got what they needed to get and they're coming back on. So I wanted to just quickly do a couple shout outs. My cousin, Edgar Bauer, is on. I hope you're still on, Edgar. So thank you for joining in from Maryland. I think you're still in Maryland. And Victor won the Egg White International. He is in California. So Egg White International is also in California. So congratulations, Victor. I will come back in after the show and we just need to get your information so that I can round you up with Egg White International and get you your product. And then nobody has gotten the other question yet. I'm going to repeat the question. So Wendy has a posing company. I'm trying not to say the word. So yeah, a posing product. So we need to know, the first one that can get this is, what is it called? Because we want to talk about it. So come on, people. We need to get the answer. The first one that gets the answer. And again, it probably has to, I'm going to just say it probably has to be USA as well, because I just don't know. I need to ask them if they can ship to Canada, but let's just stick with the USA. Anyways, you guys come find that answer, come back in, throw it out here. Hi, John Butler. Nice to see you again. John Butler was a photographer from the good old days, and he worked for Muscle Mag. He's Canadian, and so he used to be at all the shows in the good old days, I say. But anyways, John's good to see him on here again. So Wendy, let's talk a little bit about. Well, gosh, you have some pretty massive degrees going on. Like, your education is pretty amazing. Let's talk a little bit about that, and then I want to get back to Claudia's message or her question as well. So maybe share a little bit about your education and what you're doing with that at this point.
Yeah. Well, actually, I went straight through. I got my undergraduate degree in kinesiology, and then I went to graduate school at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, and I got my master's degree in exercise physiology, and I absolutely loved that program. We had this lab that had everything like that your heart could desire as a fitness person. And so I pretty much lived in the lab the entire time that I was going to school. I taught a lot of the labs. It took me 2 years, and I did my master's thesis on the three different types of warm-up protocols and how it would affect your muscles, and what warm-up protocol would be better. And it's probably more than anybody cares to listen about, but but that was actually really good. Right after I finished graduate school, I wanted to just jump right out and use my degree exactly how I had it. And I was so stoked. I was so excited. But actually, I needed a job too. And it's really hard to find. You know what I mean? I was in San Luis Obispo, and I moved right away to the Bay Area. And so I actually started my career as a fitness director at a senior living center. And I was only there for a short period of time, and I kind of moved my way up. I was there for a short period of time, and it was really awesome because I learned a lot about geriatric wellness right out of the gate. So I felt really well-rounded after that. And then I went on to be a fitness director at a YMCA. And then I moved on to be a fitness director at Stanford University. And I worked really closely with a lot of the coaches there. I managed all the fitness facilities in the entire campus on the university. I worked with the employee wellness program, and that was a really awesome experience. I actually also helped. I was on the roster as one of the strength and conditioning coaches for the football team back when Harbaugh was coaching. I didn't actually meet him in person, but I helped the football team with cycling classes and yoga classes. I helped to coordinate that. So I was on the roster as one of the strength and conditioning coaches also during those years. So
wow.
It was really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of everything. I helped the lab. Every time they wanted to do some research, they came to me, and I helped to coordinate that. I worked on a lot of different committees, and it was a lot. And in 5 years, I actually felt like I needed more challenge, and I wanted to. I was constantly creating and constantly doing stuff. And I'm like, I love doing this for Stanford, but I wanted to dedicate all my time to our business. And that's when Matt and I decided that I would, stop working at Stanford and dedicate all my time to our business, Cyber Bodyshop. And so, I just started dedicating all my time to coaching our athletes. And that just has become more of my passion, and trying to create unique ways to help people with big concept things, and make it easier for people to access. So, for example, posing, which I won't say what my posing product is called because someone hasn't gotten that yet.
Someone has not figured it out. Y'all go on into Google and find it. Someone needs to win this.
No, but I have definitely used parts of my degree. I finished my master's degree when I was pretty young. I was 23, I believe, when I finished my master's degree. Wow. And so I definitely learned more through experience than I did in that amount of time I was in school. It set me up for success, though, because I'm ongoing since I finished my college education. I have, reverse engineered a lot of the information for, as I've continued experiencing and working with people. This, there's no way that you can have a real life, prediction on what's going to happen until you get in there and you start doing it and you start working with people and seeing how things respond. It's been a lot of that for me. And so, yeah.
Wow. That's just incredible. 23 and you finished a master's, and then you started rolling and going in all of it.
I'm a little older than that now.
A what?
I'm a little older than that now.
A little bit, not much. Wow. Was that because I'm looking here and I've got hair makeup artist.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, before we go, we've got a winner. Yeah. Saucity. Oh my gosh. Well, I have to say, okay, so hi. Okay, so just really quick introduction here. Saucity is potentially going to be shooting with Sarah and I for our Epic Destination Texas shoot here in July, at the end of July here in Texas, in San Antonio or Austin. So I'm excited, Saucity, that you came on and you won the show, or you won the show. You won the Legendary Foods big win. So yay, Saucity.
Yay.
Yay! This is her first time to come on here as well. So thank you, Saucity, for joining us. I look forward to talking to you and catching up with you maybe tomorrow. We'll get to connect. I know you got to talk to Sarah today, Miss Saucity. So yay! Thanks for coming on, and thanks you for participating. And we'll get you your Legendary Foods giveaway here. I'll get it started up tomorrow. So yay! Okay, so got a little, squirrel. I had the team over here going winners, so I had to
No, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's fun to win stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was saying I've got down here that you're a hair and makeup artist. How did that fit into the exercise physiology and kinesiology? And you're like, oh, I should be a hair and makeup artist too. When did all of that fit in, and how did that work?
Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting. So actually, in my undergraduate degree, I got a minor in art. So
I have that written down too. So
yeah, and I've always been an artist. My whole life since I was young, art has been just something I've been so naturally inclined to do. And I wouldn't even say that my art degree taught me what I know. It was something that naturally I fell into, because it was I had one end of the campus was my fitness degree, and then on the other end of the campus, literally polar opposite end of the campus, was the art classes that I was taking. So it was I would go from one end to the other, and I would always have people say, well, what are you going to do with art and fitness? They're totally polar opposites. And the interesting thing about that is that bodybuilding is literally art with the body. So yes. I think I nailed it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's literally art with the body. And art is something that is just in me, when it comes to, makeup and just perfecting lines and just contouring and just everything that about makeup and helping women bring out their natural shape of their face and their natural beauty and highlighting their features. That is just my jam, it's, and then, hair goes along with that. So, hair is something that I'm self-taught completely with hair, because I would have women this was I've been doing hair and makeup now I've been doing makeup for 15 years, but I'm doing hair and makeup now since I started competing, because I would do women's makeup, and, they would want to do their hair and makeup appointment all at the same time. And so I just was working on I would just, trial and error, like all different types of hair, different styles, different textures. And I just started getting really good at, bringing out, people's hairstyles and to fit and match their face. And it really does go together. The hair and makeup, it has to look just right together. I like doing both. If someone comes to me, they usually come to me for both, unless they just want to do their own hair or something like that. Yeah.
Right. So are you analyzing my look tonight, making sure that
I love your look because it's like beautiful and natural. Yes. On stage, you've probably seen this too, but one thing that I think is hard not to do is, it's like we have this like beautiful blue suit, right? And then we go, oh my gosh, I have the perfect blue eyeshadow that matches this blue suit. And that, right?
Right.
And like, it doesn't necessarily, so for me, it's like just with, I guess, my art background, it's like everything from head to toe, it's all about that perfect complementary flow, right? From head to toe. I mean, you don't want anything to distract. You want it all to go all together. And so the makeup blue eyeshadow might not be the best eyeshadow for that person,
or the nails for that matter. Sometimes the nails, if they're really distracting colors or something on the toes or whatever, right there, it's too much. But thankfully nowadays, the tanning products seem to be a lot better, because I remember there was quite a few times that I had a green tint to me getting on stage. But I don't know if you know this, but I was the first Olympia athlete to have a hair and makeup artist with me for the backstage Olympia.
Well, I mean, it makes sense based on how you looked, for sure.
I was really, really blessed. 94, I had pictures with Alex Ardenti. He was my first real fitness photographer.
Yeah.
And then he was friends with Nancy Jambazian.
Yeah.
And Nancy's there up in Pasadena, Glendale area. So I've shot with him and her in 94. Yeah, and then I kept in touch with her, and then I started bringing her into all of the shots. When I moved to California and I started getting booked for all these shoots, we were responsible for the most part to do our own hair and makeup, our own styling and everything, right? So thankfully she would come to the shoots with me, and the photographers would pay her a little bit of money, and she kept her prices very, very cheap, because she was just happy to try to help get me into magazines and that kind of thing. And then I started bringing her into the muscle and fitness shoots and everything that I could get her into, and all my got sponsored for her to come to all my shows and be with me for, so that kind of helped.
I'm volunteering myself to do your hair and makeup at your next shoot.
Awesome. Let's get you in there. Speaking of shoots, I don't know if you have seen Sarah Lyons and BodyScape Magazine and Picture Groove. Well, Sarah and I partnered up a little over a year ago and started working together on epic destination shoots. So we've been hosting these around the country. She's in Arizona, so maybe we can set something up with you to come shoot in Arizona and maybe get that. Yeah, I don't know if you'd ever be interested in having a cover of a magazine, but if it's
I mean, no big.
Maybe.
Are you kidding me? That would be awesome. I'm looking at all your covers behind you, and I know you have like over 100 though. That's awesome. I'm speechless. I can't even.
Well, they're all. I have to tell you, all of my covers were in boxes for years. We lived in this house a little over 2 years. We built an office in here because when we moved in, there was just a big blank room. There was no doors or shelving or anything. So we said, if we're going to have an office, let's put shelving up. And so I have it's the first time in my life that I've had all of my trophies out, all of my medals.
Love it. I love
and
it.
all of, and then I have about,
Cool.
I've probably got about 50 covers or 60 up. I don't know, but
Fun room.
it's the first time in my life, and my husband's been doing it, and it's been really fun to just come in here and reminisce a little bit about it. I'm not like, I don't look at him and like, oh my gosh, I'm so great or anything. I just like, it's fun to reminisce a little bit.
No, but that's you. Those are your accomplishments.
Tuck your weight here, so no one, when you walk in my house, you don't really see it unless you come inside the room. So it's not like it's out all over the house or anything. But
oh, Monica, you are like the sweetest person. I would never think that I think that, it kind of goes, the whole you versus you, where you have to look at something that you've accomplished and keep yourself motivated that way sometimes, because that's something that you can achieve. If you're looking at pictures of yourself on covers of magazines, you're like super motivated every day because that's something that you can't achieve. It's literally you. So
well, it's certainly been fun. Let's see. I want to get back to Claudia's question as well. And I know we are kind of sitting at that hour mark, so we'll take a few questions. And I want you to be able to share about Cyber Bodyshop and polished presentation. And I just have to say really quickly, I signed up for your polished presentation. You know that, right?
I know.
Right? And here's the thing is I have been teaching I called it poise and presentation for years. And all the fem camps, I had 2 sessions for fem camps. We did fem camps 12 years. So I started teaching presentation for stage back in probably 2000.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I have absolutely loved. And I think that was always the thing for me to teach was so rewarding because you get somebody who couldn't walk in heels, was scared to death to show her, self in a pair of heels walking, and she had no idea how to walk. And when you can show someone and then see that confidence come out of them, it's so beautiful. And so when I saw what you were doing with that, I was like, oh, I want to get in there because there's new things always to learn. You can always pick up something from somebody. And I wanted to support what you're doing and see, and be a part of your clan. So
thank you.
I think what you're doing. Of course. Yes, you do a great job of it. And
that's because you did teach me. So there's that.
You're cute. Well, if I ever got back on stage, I would definitely want to come work with you and, have you work with me on my pose and see if we can spruce it up anymore. But I do love the posing part. And I think that's one thing I really miss about being on stage is just being on stage, the awesome suit, everything's ready. You've worked so hard. It's there. And you get to present yourself in a way that's really classy, tasteful. And that's one of the things I loved about watching you is what you come across that as well. You come across that way as well. So I love what you're doing. And I'd like for you to share that. And maybe what we'll do is have you shared a little bit about that. And then Claudia, we'll go back to Claudia's question, maybe our last one. Let me just look here really quick. I'm looking at a monitor over here because I can't see the computer in front of me very well. Okay, Claudia's we're going to end up with Claudia. And I think if any other questions that we need to take on here. John Butler, I used to use Nancy Jambesi myself when he did shoots in California. Yep, she is amazing. She still is awesome. So if you ever need somebody, Wendy, for yourself, I know you probably, sometimes it's just nice to have someone, but I know you do a beautiful job too.
Anyone do my hair and makeup? I should live on the edge one of these days. Maybe I'll learn something new by having someone mess with my face.
Right. Well, and that's kind of how I feel about training and working with someone. I know what to do, but if you want to kind of get sometimes just some different perspective, of course, it wouldn't just be anybody. It would have to be somebody that I really, really have know and watch and have, see that they have the experience. So, okay. And my mom is throwing out that expand yourself. She just wrote down expand yourself. So yes, expansion is good, right? Stretching ourselves out. Okay. So
she do like gestures to help you.
She wrote it down. I was like, Mom, write down any notes. My mom's great with notes. Yes. Okay. So tell us about Cyber Bodyshop, right? Yes. And then polished presentation. And then we'll go to Claudia's question to round this out. So tell us about what's Cyber Bodyshop.
Well, Cyber Bodyshop, we started officially launched it in 2013, and it has primarily been contest preparation. And we've come out with various like online products. We had a program called Cyber Body 60, which was like 60 days of like workouts and nutrition, and that did really well. And then I came out with your polished presentation, which is a product that we sell in our Cyber Body shop. Also, and I just launched a product called Insider's Cardio Playbook that is basically everything you need to create and learn about cardio. So I talk a lot about how to increase your intensity and everything in that. And we are getting ready to launch a membership site, actually, where we will be sharing so many different things with, nutrition, recipes, supplementation, workouts, everything under the sun. Maybe I should get you and Kiana and Clark, and we should do like a beach, like reminisce workout, something like that. I don't know.
Yep. That would be fun.
Coordinate one person. I mean, I'm sure that would be impossible. But
it would be fun though.
It would be so fun. I would just love that. Okay. But we are going to, before we launch our membership site, we're going to launch a new product. I don't want to say what it's called because it's like really exciting. I want to, or maybe I should. I mean, when else am I going to get a platform like this to tell? So what am I doing? What am I thinking?
Well, this is what we're here for. I want to,
Why am I hiding this? Like, what would I hide this for? Okay.
Is this the first time you're announcing it?
Yeah.
Do we need a drum roll?
Okay. It's a product that we're going to release. It's going to be called The Vault. And what it is I had a membership site in 2015 and it did really, really well, but we kind of like, for different reasons, we kind of fell off, but I found all of this footage, like 70 videos, and I organized them all of our nutrition, all of our workouts, everything, and I organized it, and we're going to release that before we launch our membership site so that we can release all of our kind of like a vault of all of our old content, and then we're going to do different things with that product, like when we put, different like program products together, we can pull from the vault. I don't know if this is making sense. It's a little bit complicated sounding, but it's not complicated. It's going to be exciting. It's basically all of my old footage from my last membership site. I'm going to release it, and it's going to be called The Vault. And it's going to be that's the big thing I'm working on right now. It's been taking me quite a while. But those are all like the main projects we've been needing to get to for a while. And one more thing. With Polished Presentation, I launched that. I'm going to launch a Polished Presentation 2.0, which I'm really excited about. So I'll have my big vision of Polished Presentation is that it is this basically umbrella of everything presentation, and I'm going to have a place where people can go to the best suit designers, the best posing coaches, buy their jewelry, buy their shoes, buy my posing product, and I'm recreating it too. Everything anybody would need posing and presentation is going to be in this this is my vision. This is going to be the umbrella of everything you need, and launching kind of in a subcategory of that, I'm launching a dance program for bodybuilders. I originally wanted to launch it as a figure and bikini, kind of spin off of a Polished Presentation. But then I was talking to some people and I wanted to make it more inclusive so that more people wouldn't feel like they're excluded if they're not in figure and bikini, but basically a dance product that is geared to help people with the key elements that they utilize when they're posing, their turns and the transitions and walking, just everything under the sun in a dance product. So anyway, and that's called Flash. Okay, sorry, I'm done.
Well, no, I love it. There's so much. I mean, and what you're talking about is a very necessary piece for someone to be able to come to one place and see all that. And, all of the stuff you're talking about from the vault, that's priceless.
I know.
It really is. And I think that people are going to love that. And you've got very ingenuity, the names of them, the names are really good. You're very creative. How much does Matt play into helping to create these programs with you, or is this something y'all collaborate on?
Yeah.
Or is it you and then he just comes in and helps you with what you tell him to help you with? Or is it y'all work together? Is this a good team, right?
Oh my gosh, it's like the best team. Matt is the smartest person I've ever met in my life. He pulls information from his brain. I swear he is literally a walking encyclopedia. I don't know how he knows everything. I don't get it. I really don't. He's like, you know, forget the exercise physiology book. He is the book. So, it's interesting. So when we work together, we are so good working together because when it comes to like our clients, for example, who compete, I definitely focus a lot more on the presentation component. And then I get in with like because I'm very detail oriented when it comes to fixing people's form and technique. So I'll like dive in and help kind of on the edges of that. But Matt is really like the driving force. He really structures everyone's workouts and meal plans. And he's like the brains behind like the main operation. He knows how to, I trust his judgment like implicitly. So we just work really well together. And with the products, we're just so like, we just gel, you know? I mean, I'll have a crazy idea and he'll say, okay, let's do it. And that's what I need. And then, you know, I'm kind of like, I always have a million ideas and he's just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, it sounds like y'all are such a good fit and you just honored and respected your husband. And that's what a wife is supposed to do. I don't know if you realize what you just said was such a beautiful thing for a wife to honor and respect your husband in such a beautiful way publicly. So, you know, God will bless you guys for that. We're supposed to be, as wives, we're supposed to be the helper for our husbands. So it sounds like you guys have a great relationship and it's really nice to see that because this industry can be so hard on couples, right? It can be really, really hard, but you guys seem to have a really good fit and both benefiting and blessing and supporting one another and encouraging one another. And we need more of that in our society. We need more couples that are that way. So that's awesome. I love it. I love it that you guys can work together and use each other's talents, gifts, skills, knowledge, and really have a strong business and relationship. So people doubt themselves a lot, you know, and I think that you have to constantly remind the person that you love what they're good at, because even if you don't think they need it, it's like they do. You know I need that. And so it's like we're just really intuitive like that. We know when the other person needs a little bit more of a pick-me-up. And so we just kind of feed off of each other's energy like that. I just think it's really important. You know, you got to keep reminding someone that they are really good at something, that they are, you know, really encourage them because that's how people's real talents come out. I love that. That's awesome, Wendy. Very cool. Okay, let's get over to Claudia's. Let's see. Hello, Wendy. I have a question. How would you summarize your growth and I can't read this, the things over it. I can't read that word because the mouse is over it. There we go. Summarize your growth to become who you are, taking into account your journey with all your wins, losses, and opportunities. And Claudia, that's such a big question. Oh my goodness. Hopefully Wendy can take hold of that question. And
I have to not talk too much. That's my problem.
It's okay. We love hearing you.
Everything I do. I don't know why. It's just how I operate. But, you know, I would say that it's a really interesting concept, you know, winning and how that changes you. Because if you think about this, you know, I've heard people say, you know, winning isn't everything. Or people say, don't get your hopes up. And, you know, I'll be happy if I just, you know, I don't want to expect too much. And, you know, yes, it's true. But I would say that the idea of like, you know, don't get your hopes up or whatever. It's more like a retrospective idea, right? Because if you go into a competition that you've worked so hard for, you have to go in with this mindset that like, I'm here to win and I want to win. Like I've put everything in. Why not me? Why can someone else win and not me? So you have to go in believing that you could be the one, right? But the reality is that it's possible that you won't be. And so rather than try to protect yourself and handle that, and this is the biggest thing that I think I've learned in my journey, just through winning a lot less times than I've lost. That's the reality. You know, if you win, I guarantee if you're like at the top of your game, you've lost a lot more times than you won. So you have to know how to take that.
Right.
I guess learning through losing so many times, if you keep going, because usually either it's too much and you don't keep going, but if you're somebody like me and Monica who do keep going, you have to be able to understand and you know, deal with all of that loss. And I think that the learning lesson is it doesn't keep me from going into my next competition with you know, a tainted view of what I'm capable of. I go in with just as much desire and belief in myself that I can win this one. I don't like lose sight on that. And then after I don't, which is more times than I do, you know, I didn't go in saying, you know what, winning isn't everything. I went out saying, you know, winning wasn't everything. And that's kind of, I think, what it is about, you know, when it comes to wins and losses. Anyone who has been doing something for a long time and has, you know, a lot of accomplishments, they have a lot more, you know, losses than accomplishments. And that is hard to take. But it's like you kind of figure out after the fact, you look at your whole journey and you go, okay, but look at all these things that I gained along the way. But if you're only judging based on whether you won or not, well then even if you win, it's going to be empty. It'll be like a big smoke because there was nothing that you're not really absorbing all these things that you actually were gaining out of that because the win was your only indicator. And for somebody who maybe didn't put all their effort into it and does win, it's like you kind of need that in order to feel like you have accomplished something. That's why people get so disappointed when they don't win. If they haven't put in all the work, they need that win, right? To feel like they did something. But if you did everything you possibly could and you don't win, then you don't need that win. But you do going into it, right? Like,
yes, it's like you're so right about that. And you know, one of the things I've always tried to talk to people about before they get on stage, and when all the years of the Fem Camp and everything, because that was heavily focused on opportunity for competition to learn about that. It wasn't just that, but it was. So it was. I always had to talk to these women, especially like, what is your why? Like, why do you want to do this? It can't just be about a win, because if that's all you're ever looking for, then you're going to be defeated and let down. Over and over and over. And if that's that's how you look at yourself and that's what defines you, then this is not the industry for you, right? And one of the things that you've done very well, Wendy, is taken what your competitive piece has allowed and expanded into this business and shared with others and given back. And really, I think this industry needs that person like you in this. And, you know, again, why I wanted you to come on here is because, you know, you may not have won, like you said, everything. Well, and I know that too, but I mean, for myself, but it really is about the journey and how do we take what we've learned and share that good piece with other people, the reality, and also, you know, what you've learned and what you're doing. So I think it's great. Your business has, you know, it shows that that's where your heart is. And I think what you're doing is amazing. And you've got a lot of great insight. So like I said, you're not just a pretty face, you're very smart and you're well spoken. I love it.
Takes one to know one, right?
We'll just keep going back and forth all day about this. So I love the vault and I love the cyber Bodyshop and polished presentation 2.0. I can't wait to see that.
I'm giving you one. I'm going to give it everything when I launch my vault and Polish Presentation 2.0, I'm giving those to you. So don't buy them. I'm giving them to you. I'm not that I'm assuming that you would buy it. I'm just.
No, but I did already. So, you know, I didn't buy the programming but I was serious when I was talking earlier because I've been thinking I'm going to be 50 this year and I want to do my 50 images when I'm 50. And I thought it'd be really fun to work with somebody again. Just to have, you know, I've worked with so many people for years, and you're so cute. So but I haven't been able to think of who I want to work with. And when I started talking to you, I was like, it'd be kind of cool to work with you guys and just, just to have that goal again and have that bit. And of course, shooting with Sarah, you can't go wrong no matter what you look like. Sarah's going to get the best angles and the best pictures. She's so good, right? So anyways, is there anything else that we haven't talked about? I'm just looking at my notes real quick. I know that everything I've written down, we've talked about. Is there anything else you want to share or any advice that you have for the new people coming up in the industry that, have all this social media stuff and, the magazines are kind of like scarce nowadays. And, people are always asking, how do you get into the business? And I used to have a pretty good stock answer, but nowadays I'm like, I don't know.
Well, what I would say to that is going to sound a little bit hypocritical because here I am. You were my idol. I wanted to look just like you. And I feel like I'm looking in a mirror right now. So this is going to sound a little hypocritical right now.
I start crying. Don't do that. I'll mess my makeup.
But I would say that, the beautiful thing about right now versus like when I first got into the sport is that there are so many opportunities for people to make a name for themselves without having to win a show or be like really good at the sport, because there's so many different unique looks, unique people, unique talent, skills. I mean, you could do just about anything. I just did a collaboration with a girl who has a big YouTube channel. She's being like a bodybuilder for a day. She does this YouTube channel where she just does like someone's life for a day. And she's huge. She got this huge, and the way that, small side story is, I was her gymnastics camp counselor when I was 15,
cool.
and she was only 10, and now she's like this big. So it was kind of a cool, come around story.
Yes.
And that's her talent. She just does people's lives for a day, and everyone loves it. It's like, that's the thing, and it's like finding the thing that makes you unique is easier and easier as things just blow up, because whatever your flavor is, it's going to be someone's favorite flavor. And before, there was like a bottleneck where, a small group of people would choose who everyone's flavor would be, and that's all you were exposed to, But now it's just anyone can really be the most amazing at whatever it is that they want to be. So that's,
I love it. Well, and you're right. You just got to find that niche and then go for it.
Yep.
Like Matt tells you, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Find it. Do it. I had another thought as you're talking. Olympia.
Yes.
We're going back on stage? Is that what's going on for Miss Wendy?
I would love to. I'm not officially, you have to win to officially qualify. There have only been a couple shows that you could qualify, and I did take second. So I have points on the board, and if there are no shows from now until the Olympia, you have to be one of the top 3 in points. There wouldn't be very many people on the Olympia stage, but I would probably make it on points right now, even though I've only done 1 show. But there are going to be some shows. So I will aim to either win, always the first goal, or get some more points. And I'm feeling really good this season, so I'm thinking that it's looking bright for me. So yeah, it's going to be in December.
Planet Hollywood. How cool is that?
So,
they finally moved it. I was like, yay. I did an interview with Dan Solomon a few weeks ago, and it was right when the Olympia they just announced it, and it was like the next day, and I was like, that's so cool. Planet
Hollywood. How many
Hollywood.
Olympias have you done? Have you competed in? Because you were a fan figure.
10 Olympias and
Olympias?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And Arnold's 97, 98, 2 Arnold's in fitness, and then 8 or 9 Arnold's with the figure and fitness total. One of them I got invited to, and then I couldn't participate because of the sponsor that I had, and they were unhappy with my placings. And they said, "Well, if you don't place well, then you're so crazy, right?" They said, "If you don't place well, then you're what's the word? I would be diminished, like my value as an athlete,
blacklisted."
They were saying they wouldn't let me compete, even though I got invited to the Arnold that year. But that. But
I'm sorry. I know that is a thing too. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's all right. 20 years Olympia and 20 years Arnold, working all 20 for both. So
yeah.
Yeah, they need to have that kind of like 20-year, you get your 20-year retirement thing.
Well, yeah, I don't even know. I mean, God, I think I'm one of the longest competing pro figure girls right now. I think. I know that Boyana's been competing about as long as I have, and who else?
Got a beautiful figure. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm not sure.
Oksana, I did an interview with Oksana a few weeks ago. She's coming back. She's doing fitness, right? Yeah, so fun.
Oksana, oh God, she's just insane.
Yeah, it was fun, and I when I asked her to come on, I didn't know she was coming back to the Olympia, so it was fun to get to talk.
No, she's gonna be competing in the Olympia.
Yeah, shut the door, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's gonna make a comeback.
No way. Oh, the Olympia, that's super exciting.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm so excited for you. If you what show potentially is coming up, assuming that it still holds, what show would you be doing next before the Olympia?
I think I'm going to do the Arizona Pro next.
And when is that?
It is in September, the beginning of September. So I think I'm like 12 weeks away from that. So.
Okay. And so here's an interesting twist is Sarah Lyons is in Scottsdale and she's got a studio there and all of that. So maybe there's a way to work all of that out. I mean, you're so close to her already, and I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away. So maybe we talk about getting you over there somehow.
Ooh, I would love that.
Yeah, right.
I've never shot with Sarah. I just am a fan of her work. So.
Well, she's awesome. I mean, yeah, we're a good team, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll have to talk about that outside of this. So, okay, any other questions? I knew this would be a special show. Love you both. Thank you, Christopher Ray. That's so sweet.
Christopher.
So sweet, so sweet.
I'm gonna meet you one day and give you a big hug.
As long as he's okay with hugs,
Oh yeah, I know. I can hug anyone right now.
Right now, like people are like, some of them are like grab you, hug you, and some of them are like, oh, don't get near me. And it's like, okay.
I know, you gotta be careful.
It's almost like you need to wear a little sign that says you can hug me or stay away.
Yeah.
Non-hugger, hugger.
For a long time now, like since I first started competing. He does Fit Gems Nation, and he features all of us, and he's just like the sweetest person. Yeah.
He is. You are a gem, Christopher. So thank you. You are a gem for the fitness gym. Okay. So I just think we should probably stop here and let people start going and doing dinner and all these other things. Because, us girls, we could keep talking all night long and keep yapping about whatever, because that's what we do as girls.
I feel that, Monica. I feel like we could just go on forever.
Yes, I know. I want to thank everybody for coming on. I know everyone, is taking time out of your night. Victor, thank you for playing the game. He says, total inspiration and the way to continue through the hard times with the mind, body, and soul. That's the way to fitness longevity. Thanks for the talk. Monica Brant, IFBB figure, Wendyfortino. Thank you so much, Victor. Appreciate your message there. And everyone else that's joined. And Donise, you are so sweet. You and your 50 and fabulous. Donnie's just wanted to speak. She turned 50 last summer, and she shot with Sarah, and we got some beautiful pictures of her. She's super, super fun. She and I used to work together in the early 90s at a really fun little bar here. What?
50 is the new 20.
50 is the new 20. I'll agree. So just want to say thank you, everybody. We're going to let Wendy go back and hang with her husband tonight and get back into the vault, all of your old stuff, and try not to just take too much time reminiscing.
I know.
Right?
This like cheered me up. This will hold me over for a while.
Oh, good. Well, it's so fun to connect with you, Wendy, and I definitely will be talking to you off camera later. Maybe not tonight, but we'll catch up soon, because I would love to chat with you a little bit about Cyber Bodyshop and maybe getting me ready for my 50, my big 5-0.
I'm done. I got you.
As long as there's track involved.
No worries. I got you on that too.
I'm all about the track. John Butler, thank you for visiting with us. He says Wendy was very impressive. I agree, John. I agree. He'd probably like to shoot you too. Awesome interview. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining tonight, the Monica Brant Show, a Tuesday night, every Tuesday night. Come back, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Next week, we have another very special guest, Mr. Clark Bartram. He is one of the most trusted names in the male side of fitness. So you guys come and check out our interview next week. Thank you so much to Legendary Foods for your sponsorship. That's a hard word for me to say. We appreciate you. Egg White International, Picture Groove, BodyScape Magazine. Thank you, Sarah. And you guys, just in case you're interested, I am hosting live body weight only workouts twice a week. I'm hosting, coaching, and participating in them. If you are interested in joining, they're Wednesday night at 8:30 Central and Saturday mornings 11 Central. So every Wednesday night and Saturday, they're body weight. They're different every time, but they're always body weight, no equipment needed. And I'm focused on helping people learn how to have better posture, using your glutes correctly, opening and elongating muscles, opening up hips. So we're all sitting a lot nowadays, it seems like. So I'm really helping people learn how to use their body correctly. And I've started doing a couple Monday night sessions where I'm teaching how to do fascial muscle tissue release, so with a roller. So if you guys are interested in any of those, you guys just please email me, info@monicabrantfit.com. Again, info@monicabrantfit.com. Or you can send a DM at any of my social media spots, and we'll me and my team will get back to you right away and get you registered. But in the meantime, guys, have a blessed night. Go love on your family, and take good care of yourself. And I will look forward to seeing you guys all next Tuesday night on the Monica Brant Show. Bye.
Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching the Tasty Pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.